Today we're removing the air ride from the 911, installing these. So I mentioned in my last video that I wanted to switch over from the air ride to the coilovers, and the coilovers came in last week. I ended up starting to switch the top hats over from the original Struts to the Öhlins coilovers. So I actually ended up picking these up secondhand from a friend of mine for a pretty good deal compared to retail. They had less than like 800 miles on them, he said. They're only a couple years old, but they basically look brand new. So I'm in the process of switching over the top hats. I already got one of the fronts complete, which is right here. And then I'm going to work on getting the rest of them going. So I got the stock strut right here in the front. I'm going to pop off the top hat right here and swap it over to the coilover. Luckily these aren't really that tight, so. And you want to swap it, basically everything over from the spacers and the washers. You have the spring. Now that we got the stock top hat off the original Strut, we're pretty much going to swap everything over from the original top hats. Just got to make sure the dust boot's on there. We'll do this spacer. Then you want to use the included lock nut. And this one I'll just end up tightening down by hand. And now the fronts are all set and ready to go in the car. So now we're on the rear coilovers. You take these are a little easier. These that came off originally, the rear struts are separate, and then the instructions show only this washer on there, but my friend had both of these on here and they didn't have any problems, so I'm just gonna leave it how he had it. And the rears just slip right over this, and you have the washer and then this lock nut. This one's a 17, so we just tighten this down, the dampening adjustment, just get that snug into place. Now that's one side done, we'll get the other. Okay, now all the coilovers are ready to go in the car. Just got to take the air ride out. And these can go in. And now for the last time this car is gonna be aired up. So one thing I like about these cars is that the body's so stiff you can lift like the entire side just from the one jack point. So now on top of the coilovers, I actually have Michelin's instead. Went a little wider in the rear because I had two 75/35s and we're going 305/30s. The front is two 35/35, so it's going to stay the same. It's going to have about the same straight sidewall. There's not going to be really any stretch on these, but I wanted to go with a grippier tire. Friend wanted these, so it kind of worked out in my favor. So I'm going to load these up in the truck. Tires are coming today, so we'll get those done as well. Now I'm running fairly large spacers on these because of the high offsets. But because of the new tires, I can actually probably take these and go a little smaller. I think I have 25, 20, and also 30 mil, which I believe those are the 30s. So I can go down to a 25 in the rear to help, because right now I had a decent amount of poke, and with the new tire, I definitely need to bring it in a little bit more. So now that we got all the wheels off, we can start working on taking out the struts. I just aired out all the struts and have to disconnecting out from the inside of the front area, but for now there's no air left in the bags, and we can start disconnecting all of the components to drop the struts. One of the best tools you can get, flat wrenches. Always get good for the sway bar links, the tight spaces and stuff. Way better than the standard wrenches when you need to get this tight spaces. Okay, that's all disconnected. The strut should slide down and wrap. So now we can drop the strut and then get the coilover in. So these actually, I put the top in first, but you're supposed to put the bottom in because you can't angle these out like you would normally. So once we get this slid in to the knuckle, now we find a jack point, jack it up. Okay, now that we got that lined up, I'm gonna go all the way up with this until it sits right at the bottom of the coilover. Now that's all in place. Throw this back in and tighten down the knuckle, the nut for that hold on to the coilover. And now we're on coilovers. So both front coils are in. I took out the wheel liners only because I still have all the airlines in the car that I do need to remove. My friend wanted the airlines in the car instead of buying new. I also don't want to leave them in there if I don't need them for anything. So I actually do have plans for the air cups from the front from Stance Parts. Those probably won't be in for a couple weeks. They have to come in, I have to find time to put them in, but basically I'm going to still run a small compressor and tank in the front area, and I'm going to have the pistons up top. What's good is that there's a good enough amount of thread left on here where I can adjust this down enough to add the air cup on top of the coil, so that'll give me the front lift that I'm looking for, that I want, because of how low this front lip sits. And now that the fronts are done, we're on to the rears. These are fairly simple. There's the 3 bolts up top that I have to get into the interior, the airline, and then the bolt down below right here. So these are fairly easy to put in, so they should be coming out pretty they should come out pretty easy as well. Now I'm trying to avoid taking the back seat out, but I have a feeling I need to. Pretty sure I took it out every time, but I might be able to access these without taking these out, which would be really convenient. Yep. So luckily I don't need to get this rear deck lid. I have to pop out these covers on the sides. All right, so all the coilovers are in the 911. I got the wheels loaded up into the truck. We're gonna go pick up the tires and then go to the shop and get the tires mounted next. And then we're gonna button up everything else left in the car and throw the wheels on. We should be good to go. So we are up at Carolina Wheel Repair. This is where I came the last couple times. They ended up doing the set of the TEs on the Ram, and they did the tires on the BBS wheels the last 2 times when I swapped them around, and also had them originally swapped from the Workmeisters. So I got them in the back. They're almost done with the tires now, and I'm gonna get them loaded up in the truck, and then I can head home and get them on the car. So we ended up switching over to a set of Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. The rears are going from a 275 to a 305, so we definitely have a lot wider. We got one of them going on right now. And the front, I'm gonna stick with the same size because there was no stretch on them. But at least the rears will go with a straight sidewall now, no more stretch on them. And these will definitely grip a bit better than the Nittles, most likely. So there's one of the rears, you see here, no more stretch. Nice size sidewall on these. So now one of the first tests is checking if this spacer is gonna be too big, only because compared to how it was with the stretch tires, the lip sat like basically flush, but these tires stick out the slightly more than the actual lip of the wheel. So I'm gonna see how it fits on there. Got a little bit of a poke. I actually think I can comfortably go down a little bit on the spacers. I think this is the 30s, so I can go down to a 25 in the rear, and that should be good. I'm gonna test fit it, see if it looks how it looks once it's compressed. Probably has a little bit too much poke, which is why I probably need to go down on the spacer. But I know it'll camber in a little bit, so I want to just make sure. Because right now it's definitely poking a good amount. So we'll see what this looks like compressed. Yeah, so I definitely got to go in at probably 5 mil. I mean, I like the flushness of it, but there was more droop than I realized. I thought it was gonna go up a little faster. Height-wise though, it's like right where I want to be. So I think if I go a 5 mil spacer in, we might be right on where I want to be for this setup. 25s, so good amount. It might still hit though, so I might need to go down to the 20s in the rear. And if that's the case, I have 20s in the front, and I think I have 12 millimeter ones I can move if I need to. I think I might see, like, I wouldn't mind raising it a little bit because it's gonna hit here, definitely. So I can either, I don't think the toe is off. Probably go down to a 20 mil, maybe even raise it a little bit. If I do a 20 mil, it'll clear that perfectly fine. These 20 mil spacers to the rear from the front, and then maybe go down to 15 on the front, something like that. All right, so this looks like this is gonna be the money. It looks like it might rub here a little bit, but I think because the car's not even, it'll actually clear that. Seems like it's pretty good up here. Looks like it's just gonna tuck in if anything, so I think the 20 mil for the rears is perfect.